Welcome back to Market Shares. I'm Peter Elliott, and joining us now in studio for our next Student Business Spotlight is Syracuse University senior Aidan Turner. Aidan, thank you so much for joining us here.
Excited to be here.
Aidan, I think it's funny, you're probably best known for your sweatshirts and crew necks, but it's funny, you're wearing a suit today. Does that feel out of the ordinary?
A little bit out of the uniform, but I had to match the energy on your side. So.
I appreciate it. You're rising to the level of CitrusTV here. So let's talk about what you're best known for, your brand, Grater Things. Tell us about how it came about and why you're here today.
Yeah, so it was way back my senior year of high school. COVID, I had a lot of time on my hands. I was super interested in graphic design and all of that. And all of a sudden, I just started creating some designs, some clothing designs. From there, friends and family supported me. And together, we built it up, eventually became a whole brand, and I decided to run with it and continue it in college.
It is pretty amazing how this brand has followed you from before college even started to now. You're a senior here at SU. How have you seen this brand kind of evolve and grow as you've evolved and grown in your young adult life?
Yeah, so right off the bat, we started with Gildan blanks, some cheap blanks, and I was actually embroidering them in my friend's basement.
Oh my gosh.
He had a machine down there. And now we've moved up to full-scale suppliers.
Look at that.
Larger supply runs right here. We have our own.
That's high quality, right?
Thank you. That's something that's one of our primary pillars of the business is the quality, the fabric. It's meant to last. It's meant to keep you cozy, but it's meant to you're supposed to enjoy your journey while being cozy. So.
Yeah. And you've talked about the support you've received from your friends and family, but have you seen it now, that support trickle out to campus? Have you seen students just around campus wearing your clothing?
I have to say one of the best things ever is seeing somebody wearing my sweatshirt on campus, and usually I'll say something and I'll be like, nice hoodie, nice sweatshirt, and they're looking at me like, why are you talking to me right now? But in the back of my mind I know I'm like, it's such a cool feeling. It's such an amazing feeling, just being supported by everyone on campus, students, groups, and even CitrusTV. So. And
they don't know you're wearing your clothes, like that you were the creator of the garment they're wearing?
Exactly. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's usually at events and pop-up shops. I love talking to people, getting to know my customers, but sometimes people just buy it from J. Michael Shoes and they have no connection. They don't know who I am. So it's definitely a good feeling seeing people wear it around campus.
Yeah, you mentioned that connection with J. Michael Shoes. Can you talk a little bit more about the connections you have with local businesses here? I think it's kind of funny on your website, your headquarters is on Comstock.
Yes, it's where I live here. It's my house where I live here. But yeah, so I've been in J. Michael Shoes for my whole career. Freshman year, I walked in, I told him about my business, and he was delighted to have me. It's been super successful there. Great outlet. I've also worked with student-run businesses such as Out to Win. Last year, we created a T-shirt with the mob, some guys on the football team, and so Out to Win. Student businesses and the Launchpad have been super supportive.
I think one of the great things about your brand, Grater Things, is that you really do rise to the level of the brand, Grater Things, and you do a lot of philanthropy working with Feeding America and Autothon. Can you talk about your kind of your mission as a small business?
Yeah. So Grater Things, the meaning of the business is we're all about achieving success, but also achieving greater things in life. A little bit of a pun thrown in there. And so the goal to reaching that is to enjoy the journey, make the most of it, have fun with the journey, because that's what you're going to remember. And we support being comfy, being cozy, having fun with it, but also doing good, giving back to the community, and being involved.
Let's talk numbers here about what your business has done over the years. Obviously, it's pretty successful, but what are the kind of the numbers you've seen over the years? What are sales like for Grater Things?
Yeah, so we've done just over about 60,000 since the beginning, so about 4 years ago, and we've sold probably over 1,000 units at this point.
That's incredible. And where have you sold these units to? All over the country, the world?
Right now, I'm not sure if I'm international yet. Maybe somebody has one overseas. They brought it over.
Sure.
But no, right now, all over the country. So I do a lot of events back home. I'm from Rhode Island, so I do a lot of stuff in Providence, Boston, that area. And I also do a lot of stuff here, stuff with J. Michael, pop-up shops, with the Launchpad, all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of all over the place, but of course, I ship to family members, people buy gifts, so we're all over.
Of course, and you've got a pop-up shop coming up soon, right?
I do, yeah. It's going to be Friday. By the time it's going to feel free to head over. It's going on right now. It's going to be in the Launchpad until 6 o'clock, but feel free to head over to the website and check it out if you can't make it to the pop-up shop. It's going to be the biggest event in Grater Things history, so definitely stay tuned.
That will be a big event. So you obviously do those pop-up shops, you sell online. What have you had the greatest success with? Is it marketing online or those in-person events? What works best for a small business like yours?
For me, it's all about the in-person. My brand is a reflection of me. So when you meet me, I can tell you my story, I can tell you the meaning behind the business. And right now, a goal of mine and a transition of mine is how do I communicate that through marketing, through social media and things like that. It's easy for me to tell you the meaning of my brand, but hard for a photo on Instagram or an ad to tell you the meaning behind my brand. And so right now, face-to-face, in-person, pop-up shops, events like that, it's perfect for getting the meaning behind my brand. But definitely that's a transition. It's something I'm working on for marketing.
That is always the best, in-person, telling your story.
Yep.
Any plans for a brick-and-mortar store in the future beyond just the online space?
We'll have to see. I mean, obviously online is the way that the world is going right now. But I'm, as an architecture major, I would absolutely love to design my own retail space, and it would be one of the coolest stores you've ever seen. So definitely stay tuned for the near future. We'll see when that is. But I'm definitely excited to move on with that.
I would love that, blending your educational pursuit. Well, you mentioned that you are an architecture major, also minoring in real estate, so that could be the future there, a brick and mortar space.
Exactly.
How do you use that sort of educational pursuit as someone majoring in architecture towards your brand? Do you have kind of a mind for design in space like that?
Yeah, so when I started the brand, I had no interest in fashion. I was using this like pirated version of Photoshop and everything to create the designs. And now with all the resources and education, design education, I've gotten into fashion, just educating myself through culturally, but also through skills, programs, and things like that. And even the business side of taking entrepreneurship classes and everything, and being a member of the Launchpad. So I have the design skills and the business skills, putting that all together, and it's really been able to grow my business and shoot it through the roof. So,
are your professors impressed that you're actually practicing what they teach?
A lot of my architecture professors are impressed. Usually, sometimes I have to miss class. So on Friday, I'm missing class, and I tell them why, and I'm saying, I understand that you're not too happy about this, but this is something I want to pursue in life, and this is something that's important to me, and they actually do appreciate that. So.
That is pretty cool. That's better experience than you can get in the classroom. Well, speaking of real world experience, we talk so much on the show about things like inflation and supply chain shortages. Is that something you've also experienced as a small business owner?
100%. So the cost of goods is insane now. So just to give you an example, when I started working with the supplier that I have now, it was probably for about 100 units is about $15 a piece. And nowadays for 100, maybe even more, 150, 200 units, it's looking to be about $25. So, which is an insane increase.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely something that, as a small business, definitely hurts. So, definitely have to work around that.
Yeah. What else have you learned about making a business kind of in the real world beyond just the launch pads in the classroom? What have you learned so far through this process over the last couple of years?
Learn by doing.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy. That's what I've done the whole time. If you sit behind the scenes and you plan and scheme, and then you launch and it flops, you're going to be devastated. So I plan, scheme a little bit, launch, see how it is. I know what works and what doesn't work. So I'm a huge hands-on guy, learn by doing. That's how the brand started. I just did it, and it just grows naturally, and you learn from the mistakes that you've made. So.
Any other plans for the future of Grater Things? Obviously, I'm sure this is a brand you started before college, but post-graduation, anything you want to do with the Grater Things brand? Yeah,
so we'll see where I end up, if I end up in the corporate world or some form. But I would love to keep the brand going. I have I have access to that supplier, so I do a lot of custom printing. I work with local businesses at home, and here I do a lot of white label things. Yeah. Obviously keeping Grater Things going, but also growing to more businesses, more different apparel related businesses. So using that one source and kind of opening a bunch of different doors. So expanding, growing Grater Things, but also reaching into a couple different markets and expanding from there.
Grater Things indeed, for the brand Grater Things. Dylan, thank you so much. Aidan, rather, thank you so much for joining us here in studio. Anything else you want to say about the Grater Things brand or the future of what you're doing?
Stay cozy and enjoy your journey. It's all about in making the most of it. So every experience you can, make the most of it. But like I said, stay cozy while you're doing it, and go check out Grater Things.
Stay cozy indeed. Aidan, thank you so much for joining us here in studio for our
Appreciate
Student
it.
Business Spotlight. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned to Market Shares. We'll have more after the break.